Hey there, and welcome to today's Megaport drop-in session. So my name is Jason Bordujenko, or JB. I head up the Asia Pacific Solution Architecture team here at Megaport. We're going to be trying something a little bit different today for the drop-in session. I'm excited to have you joining us. It's great to be able to take a little bit of time to review the Cisco Live conference, which happened in the second week of November in Melbourne for 2024. And today we're going to be discussing some of the announcements that came out from Cisco Live Melbourne. We're going to call it the top five. And of course, what Megaport are hearing about Cisco advancing, particularly around artificial intelligence, AI, being the talk of the town, the frameworks and integrations that they're running by. My contact details are on the screen. If you've joined a drop-in session, you've probably seen me on here before, but also joining us today is Morgan Wang, and he is our Melbourne-based solution architect. He's already hosted his first drop-in session by himself, but I thought we'd get Morgan on as he was in attendance to the conference and has some great insights to share. So Morgan, great to have you with us today too.
Well, thanks a lot, Jason, and really excited to talk about how Cisco is enabling innovation and leveraging AI within its own product mix. And as mentioned, my contact detail is on the screen now. Just reach out if you have anything you want to talk about Megaport wide. Happy to jump into a call or any sessions to provide any clarifications or just to have a quick chat.
Awesome. Really appreciate that. There is another layer that we want to talk about today, not just a recap on the conference. Obviously, that is a highlight of it for us. That's about how Megaport is facilitating these trends and what we're doing to respond. And obviously, we had a pretty good contingent there. The component that we want to talk about on the Megaport side is actually known, it's a derivative of our marketplace offering, and it's called the AI Exchange, or AIX. You might have seen some press about that recently. So that AIX allows connections both to and between GPU as a service or GPU AAS providers. This gives our customers a lot of flexibility in able to not only connect, but also scaling those workloads. So, Morgan, you've got this shot on the screen there. The conference was 11th to the 14th, and you've got
Yeah.
the Megaporters that were in attendance. What's your, let's get straight into it and say what the top five takeaways were from the Cisco Live conference.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks. There's so much to unpack from the 3-day Cisco Live event, and it was packed with a lot of announcements, a lot of insights, and the demos. I probably can provide a really quick peek and some of the key highlights, but there's just a lot more to explore beyond this. I think I'll probably start with some a few standout mentions from Cisco Live. Get my sharing working screen. All right. So the first one is apparently Wi-Fi 7. It's a new technology and pushing the wireless connectivity to a new stage, a new era. And following that is Cisco's new Salient microphone with adaptive beams, which is a smarter audio solution for modern workplace, paired with AI-based workplace designer, redefining the workplace planning with AI. And the next one, probably more exciting from Megaport, is Silicon One and the Hyper Fabric. It's featuring the new Nexus 9000 switch, supporting up to 51.2 terabits per second throughput, and also 800 gig interfaces. This is a huge. Next one is Cisco's new UCS 8 GPU version. It's built by Cisco, but bringing all the partners into the ecosystem to help customer action their AI ambitions really, really easily. The last one, I guess, probably not least one, is unified observability, powered by Splunk observability and enhanced through App Dynamics integration. So with all this, now if narrowing down to just the five takeaways for me personally, I'll think 5.1 being AI is really here and it's everywhere. If at Cisco Live you were not talking about AI, you were not part of the conversation. The revolution is happening right now, and we are all part of it. The second one I would think is networks are more powerful and smarter than ever. We will dive into the groundbreaking capabilities Cisco introduced and how they are reshaping the industry actually. And the third one is, I think, integration and the convergency are the new norm. Networks are getting more and more complex and also simpler to manage in the same time. The fourth one, I think, would be Cisco is the all-rounder leading the charge. Beyond dominating the networking, Cisco is enabling customer to seamlessly adopt AI-driven solutions now. Last thing I think is, for me, is most exciting part. Megaport has a critical role to play in all of this. This is the exciting part. Our journey to support our customers in staying ahead of AI revolution has already begun.
Yeah, I think it's not just the announcement of the marketplace, but obviously we've had, our customers that have been providing AI or affiliated services and asking for specific things in the network connectivity pace. So it's interesting coming from the Cisco perspective. Obviously, there's product releases there, but it sounds like, they've got an overarching strategy to incorporate it, not just as an end release product, but obviously put some of those smarts into how they're delivering the platform as a whole. So what's the take from the Cisco side? I know they've had some press about how they're going about this. Is there a key couple of strategies that are behind that?
Yeah, I think Cisco's AI strategy around the two key pillars. The first one is, I think, providing the framework and the infrastructure for customers and the business to build and deploy AI applications. Cisco refer that as a product for AI. And the second thing is integrating AI into Cisco's own solutions or to deliver smarter, more efficient tools for customers. Cisco refer that as AI for product.
Yeah, it's an interesting approach that they're taking. I think it was G2 Patel that came out with those two in Cisco Live in the US recently. So having that message reinforced, obviously at the Melbourne one was key. But I know there were some highlight announcements around it, and specifically how they're enabling development, obviously not just at the application side, but through the network enhancements. Is there a piece that you've seen that I guess has led the charge in regards to that?
Yeah, I think for me personally, exciting part is Cisco Nexus Hyper Fabric. Let's bring that back to the screen. This is a key message and the standout. It is in-purpose built for AI workloads and with ultra low latency design. It has massive bandwidth capacity, like 51.2 terabits per chip, and with intelligent traffic optimization built in. I think for us, it's really exciting of the bandwidth capacity, and also it will support 800 gig ports on the device. Um, and all of this happening in just a two rack unit switch. The other thing I think is exciting is the UCS 8 GPU server as an AI-facing computer solution built by Cisco. It has 8 NVIDIA H100 or H200 GPUs inside, and the AI port actually with third-party integration. You can see on the screen all the partners come into the ecosystem already, and it supports rapid deployment capabilities. These solutions actually bring customers' AI project to life.
Mm. And I know it's driving a lot of our data center providers to come up with some innovative ways to deal with the densities that are coming on. I know we've had, HCI or the hyper-converged infrastructures certainly taking it to the new level with that amount of GPU grunt. But I mean, that's more on the hardware side. I know Cisco has made some acquisitions lately, more on the platform and services space. How are they utilizing that, or how are they driving the components of the smarts and the machine learning or the AI components of that into those offerings as well?
Yeah, this is definitely the highlight or the key point of this Cisco Live Melbourne. Personally, I think so. At least, apparently, after the $28 billion acquisition early this year, Cisco and Splunk already have begun building this unified observability by integrating their capabilities together. And this actually includes App Dynamics for application performance monitoring with plans to incorporate Southern Eyes for network assurance as well. What's truly exciting is how AI is being used to actually predict potential network disruptions before they actually happen. And this make network observability seamless and proactive. I actually have one thing bring to this session today. This I have this really good Sold Nice T-shirt, which I really like. If you can read the word here,
Yeah, yeah, we can see it.
yeah, go ahead, Play Network. It has a great joke and a sad story related to my networking background. But I think with this new unified observability solution, there's no need for the play game. Um, and when things go wrong, issues can be pointed out within minutes or even seconds. It's a game changer for simplifying troubleshooting and ensuring smooth operations.
Hmm. Yeah, I thought it was always blame DNS first. I guess it's a component of
It's
the
also
network.
part of the network. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I do like the shirt. I got the VLANs shirt in today, so not the Cisco special. But yeah, that I guess we've covered the physical innovations and some of the components, but and obviously the strategy that's behind that. And you've covered the acquisitions, which is great because it was key that they want to get the best out of that, and it's not just about pushing tin or the product, and it's not just about selling licensing. It's the whole gamut of those two intersecting. So I guess the third piece is obviously with Megaport and where our customers coming to us and saying, hey, we're getting, new requirements at the network layer. We're getting requirements that are driving, as we said, to the data center footprint that have these GPUs, and we're needing to connect between it, bandwidth and reliability that we haven't had to deal with before. So I guess it's key that you raise around the monitoring and optimization of that application performance, and definitely it reinforces the hybrid network piece that we've been talking about for years. I guess some of the examples that I saw too, Morgan, were with Thousand Eyes. You mentioned an example, detecting latency spikes. There's a GPU cluster that the customer is using from Australia, but it's based in the
Mhm.
US.
Yep.
Um, the visibility is, not just Megaport paths. There might be other paths that are available, and then it's able to recommend or even implement those routing changes in real time. And of course, you mentioned the elephant in the room, the Splunk acquisition. I guess the learning of the model and deploying like a multi-cloud AI workload, and that could be an on-premise infrastructure, it could be a customer-owned DC. That's what we're trying to get across with the AI exchange. It's the endpoints that we've had, but it's going after a different component of customer connecting in slightly different ways. So AIX is really about the joint proposition that Cisco and Megaport would have as they introduce those new products, and not just deploying it, but obviously then how does that monitoring, enable that model training or the inferencing that the customers want to do.
Yeah, I think AI definitely has a major play in this networking game in the future, and apparently Megaport has already has its own operational process 100% automated, and no one from Megaport needs to touch any of the device from the moment the customer places order on our portal to the service being up and running. It is basically AI operations ready now. So it's just a matter of time when we actually introduce this kind of artificial intelligence to all the day-to-day operations. And I firmly believe that with that the capabilities Cisco has built, and as AI evolves further, we will be shifting from this unified observability to a new self-operating, self-healing network very, very soon.
Pretty big call. I like to hear it though. It's certainly been the direction that we've been pushing, and I do
Yeah.
point out that Megaport, we're not solely built on Cisco technologies. There's Cisco technologies in some of the components that we drive, but I know, with the announcement of Hyperfabric and the performance gains and the capabilities there, it's really driving that same agenda of the ultra low latency and that massive bandwidth. Now, it's primarily aimed, as you mentioned, within a data center or in a private cloud environment, and Megaport is looking at connecting between those locations. It sort of echoes some of the directions that we've had corporately as well. So we've already rolled out, not at every data center and in most metros, not in every metro, but certainly in all the regions we operate, 400 gig capable backbones and certainly 400 gig links in a lot of locations to enable 100 gig customer connections in some places as well, not just 100 gig ports. And obviously that does take a leaf from what our customers are then doing with the network, and the ones that are really pushing up to that bandwidth, they need that faster and more robust transmission path, and obviously always on sort of capability. You mentioned 800 gig backbone ports. I guess, if we were looking at Nexus 9000 as a platform, whether that's the right piece to integrate into the network, it would be the next logical step to actually get ahead. And obviously then we could be offering, again, that step change in the customer bandwidths. But at Cisco Live in particular, we were really talking about, and to all of the customers and partners, the components that spoke to that strategy, and obviously our piece with AI Exchange. Are you able to explain, Morgan, I guess, where that's positioned and what customers can actually access through that today?
Yeah, 100%. Let's bring back the legacy Megaport 101 slide.
Oh, reliable. Yeah.
Yeah, as you know, Megaport is one of the largest SDN provider in the world, or probably we can just say is the largest SDN provider already. And we provide interconnections to all the major public cloud providers across over 280 on-ramp locations. And we also connect customer to nearly 900 data centers globally. With AI workloads exploding, customers often need access to specialized resource. And leveraging our capabilities and ecosystem, Megaport established the first AI exchange. We call that AIX. AIX actually is can be considered as a one-stop shop for the customer, allow them to take advantage of three key improvements. The first one would be customer would be able to connect to leading GPU as a service providers or third-party AI models or and any like a storage or compute resource providers they need for the AI training. And the second one is seamlessly interconnect with these providers through ports if the customer prefer to manage all the routings themselves, or otherwise through our Megaport routing entities like a Megaport Cloud Router or Megaport Virtual Edge. It's actually for the customer, which is a cloud native, it's great news for them because you don't need any footprint in any data center physically. And the third thing is our flexibility. We optimize the cost and the performance with on-demand and flexible connections.
Hmm. And I guess that echoes why we're looking at something like AIX to actually have those providers that are enhancing and making available those connections. It's not just, a single physical connection that needs to be plumbed in. It's able to do that on demand and obviously scale that. So you mentioned the MCR and MVE, and that allows, multiple components connecting together, and customers don't have to build their own infrastructure. They can if they want. What's the
Yep.
benefits there?
Yeah, sure. Because let's maybe take some examples of the typical use case of our AI exchange. For example, if the customer is a cloud native customer, they exist in AWS, for example, all the data, all the business process in AWS. And you don't need to build any data center or any infrastructure for your AI training or anything. You can just use Megaport Cloud Router to interconnect your public cloud, your choice of a GPU as a service provider, or and your storage provider to interconnect them together, all in the cloud. And that actually allows you to consume all the resources from the cloud without any physical like a piece of hardware or router or storage or server in your data center or in your head office.
Mm.
That's kind of a yeah scenario where the customer really can benefit from this cloud-based infrastructure we built for the customer.
And that's kind of the cloud first or the cloud native model. But I know
Yeah.
some of our customers, and traditionally where Megaport have come from, the port in the title Megaport, that they want to maintain some degree of a data center footprint. So they might have particular regulatory compliance requirements, or they've had some investment that they need to maintain the capex spend. Um, this still allows them, obviously, to connect the exchange and the marketplace through physical ports, those data centers, and obviously growing that footprint that we have, can still take advantage of those GPU as a service providers or cloud providers that are running GPU using the exchange. So it gives, I guess, the best of both worlds.
Yeah, 100%. For whatever the reason, customers still need to bring all the traffic back to their data center. We can still do that from public cloud, from the AI, GPU as a service provider, from anywhere they want, and we have footprint. That's definitely still a major use case for a lot of customers now. But things are changing a little bit now, recent years, because we don't forget there are some remote users, remote customers, or remote offices where they're not either cloud native. They don't also have a data center footprint. And for those customers, it's always struggle. How do I provision a private high-speed connectivity to any of these destinations, right? Public cloud or GPU as a service or even our financial service exchange. And we can actually help customer in that case to build the edge service on our platform to allow this private and seamless connectivity through Megaport to their destination, to the infrastructure they want to interconnect to.
Mm. And you've got on the slide there, Megaport Internet, so that's a relatively new addition to the portfolio that we can take those that are on general transit connections. But obviously, we spoke a lot in Melbourne about extending the partnership that we have there. So it's been existing in Sydney. We're
Mhm.
building that out into Melbourne as well for more dedicated fiber capacity within those markets. So yeah, it was good to be able to talk to customers about that. Cisco obviously lending their weight to the conversation and the enhancements that they've had, the announcements around obviously Hyperfabric, the Thousand Eyes and Splunk piece, and the intelligence that's going behind that. The Megaport story on top of that is we can take and connect all of those pieces together in different ways. Um, but together, it's about that next wave of innovation and really bringing that to the table. Um, it's built around what we've already done with data center infrastructure, that customers don't need to do that themselves, but they can still get the advantage of, I guess, the flexibility that they can focus on the applications that really transform either their business or, providing those services for other partners that want to come in and use it. But at the end of the day, it's, the questions that come up in the conversations are, we don't want to worry about the performance aspect or the per megabit cost constraints. So yeah, it's been great to do a review. I guess we've got some time to run through and do a quick walkthrough on AI Exchange on the portal.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get on to the demo. That's probably
I see you've got the portal screen ready to go.
yeah, favorite part of the session always. Here I am logged into Megaport portal. You're probably already familiar with that if you're a customer or just interested in Megaport in general. And you can find that there's a marketplace in the portal. Actually, this is not a 100% popular, my personal opinion, because the customer just need whatever service and they come
Yeah,
to
not well
Megaport.
known.
Yeah, they don't know that we have this marketplace built by Megaport along with our partners, along with the customers, where anybody can just use that as resource to connect to other parties or allow other customers or partners to connect back. If you navigate into marketplace, you can see there's some options. Let's just pick the provider type. You find we have this financial services exchange, which is also pretty new, and we have this new AI exchange. So let's just filter all the partners or all the customers available in the marketplace by AI exchange. There are all the connections available for our partners to build their AI training or consume GPU as a service through Megaport from the cloud. Let's just pick one, Latitude. If you click into any specific partner in the marketplace, you see there's a brief introduction of what they do and how they do things, and there's the contact information. There's even a portal of the company. Click into the portal, you'll have more detailed introduction of what they do and how to connect them, how to use their service, and things like that. And also you have all the locations available from Megaport to interconnect to this specific partner or service provider. Right. Now we have a brief understanding of this provider. Let's go back to the service. For example, this is by the way, this is a lab portal, and we have a lot of testing products set up by my colleagues.
Yeah, it's very busy.
Yeah, let's just pick one. Apologize to my colleague. Um,
You're not going
in
to
the
order
ones,
over them.
let's
Yeah.
yeah, let's just for example, I want to bring in this GPU as a service capability to my existing port, so I can transfer data from and to this provider. I'll then pick Megaport Marketplace. That's where they exist, and I'll search the particular one where I'm interested in. They have heaps of locations available, and I can pick whichever I'm really decided to go with. For example, I have discussed with the provider that I want to set up my footprint in Frankfurt. That's fine. Or otherwise, you can just based on your location, based on your service, we provide you the latency number. That's pretty much in the same metro area.
Yeah.
That's provide you the best performance you can ever had by interconnecting the two entities within the same metro. So in this
That's
case, I
awesome.
probably want to set up my connection towards Dallas. So next, and all the rest of the steps are pretty familiar to all Megaport customers. Just looks like a legacy or ordinary VXC setup. Pick
Yeah,
my
and that's going to be
name.
a same metro connection, so it'll be a flat
Yeah,
rate up to a gig and then a
yeah,
tiered rate up
100%.
to 10. Yeah.
500 meg, $120.
Yeah.
1 gig, $120.
Mm,
And you don't have to commit any term if you just want to try out or just to have a small model to train. And following the instruction, just click order. And
right.
like all the other Megaport services, within 60 seconds, you have your connection built from your port to the AI GPU as a service provider. So you
Mm,
are already on the AI journey with us. That's just
very
as simple
cool.
as that. Yeah.
And obviously, if you wanted to join two providers together rather than going, you could do it from a port if you're controlling your own routing, but
Yeah,
building an
exactly.
MCR and joining it from there as well.
Yeah, on the
That's
same
great.
port, on the same port, I can also connect into any specific storage provider or public cloud provider and let them do their job, where I can just sit back and relax.
Hmm,
Just
I
simple
like
as
it.
that. Yeah.
But thank you very much for that, Morgan. I think we've come up to time. Hopefully, there's been some good question in the Q&A as we've been going through. Haven't been able to, obviously, I've been talking to you, which has been fantastic, and doing the demos. If
Yeah,
you do
no
have any
worries.
further questions, don't hesitate to drop them into the chat, and we'll obviously able to follow them up via email or sending Morgan or myself a line based on the contact details before. We thank you very much, Morgan, for your time and the great
No worries.
recap on Cisco Live.
Thank you very
Thanks.
much for chatting with me. And
That's
thank
quite a
you
go.
everyone for
Yeah.
spending time listening to us. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. And a recording will be made available through the usual channels and on the Megaport SA YouTube channel as well. And there might be some extra resources there that we throw in, obviously, on the Cisco side. And we spoke about Latitude today. I think we've done some press with them. So with that, I'll wrap up. Thank you and hope to see you all at the next session.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you,
Cheers.
everybody.
Bye now.
Good weekend.